Muscles in the first layer of the sole, there are two abductor muscles and one flexor muscle. The two abductors are Abductor Hallucis, Abductor Digiti Minimi. One flexor are the Flexor Digitorum Brevis. Let us discuss each muscle in detail. Abductor Hallucis, this muscle takes its origin from medial tubercle of the calcaneum. Coming to its insertion, it gets inserted to the medial side of the base of the proximal phalanx of the great toe. Coming to its innervation, it is supplied by medial plantar nerve. Action of this muscle, it will be helping for abduction of the great toe. Flexor Digitorum Brevis, this muscle takes its origin from medial tubercle of the calcaneum. It divides into 4 slips. Each one will go into a fibrous flexor sheath, where it will be splitting into 2 and enclosing a long flexor tendon, that is the Flexor Digitorum longus. After enclosing this tendon, these 2 slips will unite with each other, later divides and gets attached to the middle phalanx. It is innervated by medial plantar nerve. Whenever this acts, it is going to help for flexion of lateral 4 toes. Abductor Digiti Minimi, it takes its origin from medial and lateral tubercle of the calcaneum. It goes down and it goes to the lateral aspect and gets inserted to the lateral surface of the proximal phalanx of the little toe. It is innervated by lateral plantar nerve. Whenever this muscle acts, it will be helping for abduction of the little toe. Muscles in the second layer of the sole, we have 4 structures. We have 2 muscles and 2 tendons. The 2 muscles are, we have the 4 lumbricals and we have the Flexor Digitorum accessorius. Apart from this, we have 2 tendons which are crossing each other, that is the Flexor Digitorum longus and Flexor Hallucis longus. Let us discuss about the muscles in detail. Lumbricals, they are 4 in number. Coming to its origin, it will be arising from the long flexor tendon, that is the Flexor Digitorum longus tendon. The first lumbrical is unipinnate, second to fourth lumbrical are bipinnate. Coming to its insertion, it goes towards the medial side of metatarsophalangeal joint of lateral 4 toes. Under dorsal aspect, it gets inserted to the dorsal digital expansion. Coming to the innervation, the first lumbrical is innervated by medial plantar nerve. The second to fourth lumbricals are innervated by lateral plantar nerve. Coming to its actions, it will be helping for flexion at the level of metatarsophalangeal joint and extension at the level of interphalangeal joint and avoids buckling of the lateral 4 toes. Flexor Digitorum accessorius, it has 2 heads, medial head and a lateral head. Medial head arises from the medial surface of the calcaneum, lateral head arises from the plantar surface of the calcaneum. Both this head fuse and gets inserted to the Flexor Digitorum longus tendon. Innervation, it is innervated by lateral plantar nerve. Action of this muscle, whenever this muscle acts, it will be helping for straightening of the tendon of Flexor Digitorum longus. Third layer of the sole. Here, after we cut the second layer, we are going to find the muscles which are present in the third layer. All these muscles are confined to the metatarsal and they get inserted to the base of the proximal phalanx. Which are those muscles? We have the 2 flexors and 1 adductor. The 2 flexors are Flexor Hallucis brevis, Flexor Digiti Minimi. One adductor is Abductor Hallucis. Let us discuss each muscle in detail. Flexor Hallucis brevis, it has 2 tendons and 2 origins from the 2 limbs. It has a medial limb and a lateral limb. Lateral limb arises from the cuboid bone, medial limb arises from the tendon of tibialis posterior. After its origin, it is going to form a single muscle, later it is going to split into 2. Coming to its insertion, it has a medial belly and a lateral belly. Medial belly gets inserted to the medial surface of the proximal phalanx of the great toe and the lateral belly gets inserted to the lateral surface of the proximal phalanx of the great toe. Coming to its innervation, it is innervated by medial plantar nerve. Coming to its action, it will be helping for flexion of the great toe. Because of constant movements in some individuals, the tendon of Flexor Hallucis brevis will be having a sesamoid bones inside the tendon of Flexor Hallucis brevis. Abductor Hallucis muscle, it has 2 heads, oblique head and transverse head. Oblique head arises from base of the second, third and fourth metatarsal. The transverse head arises from the plantar metatarsal ligament of third, fourth and fifth metatarsal, also the deep transverse ligament and the structures in between them. Between these two heads, we have two structures, that is the plantar arch, also the deep branch from lateral plantar nerve. Coming to its insertion, both these heads fuses together and gets inserted to the lateral surface of the base of the proximal phalanx of the great toe. This muscle is innervated by lateral plantar nerve. Whenever this muscle acts, it will be helping for adduction as well as flexion of the great toe. Apart from this, this muscle will be helping for maintaining the transverse arch of the foot. Flexor digiti minimi muscle. Origin of this muscle, it takes its origin from base of the fifth metatarsal, also from the tendon of peroneus longus. It goes down and gets inserted to the lateral surface of the base of the proximal phalanx of the little toe. Innervation, it is innervated by lateral plantar nerve. Action, it will be helping for flexion of the little toe.